Joomla ships with a special hidden file called htaccess, which among other things ensures that your website URLs do not include the words index.php. If you've already set this up before, you will have done this from the System Global Configuration and set the Use URL Rewriting to Yes, having created that special htaccess file on your web server. If this all worked fine, then you can happily proceed with the htaccess maker part of Admin Tools. You will find the htaccess maker in the Security section. Remember, if you've already been able to create without any modification the htaccess file, then you can happily proceed with this section. However, you should know that any changes made here have the possibility of completely blocking your entire website. So before you proceed, you should make sure that you have FTP or some hosting control panel file manager access to get your site back online, just in case something goes wrong. If, when you use Joomla's own htaccess file, you had to make some edits for it to work on your web host, you will find those right down the bottom of this page. The most likely ones that you will have changed were to set the follow symlinks to yes and the base directory of your site from / to some subdirectory. If you were able to make Joomla's own htaccess file work without any changes, you can simply leave these as the default. If we scroll back to the top, we can see this htaccess maker includes various options to enhance the basic security of your website. Each one of these is documented in the Admin Tools documentation section of the akibabackup.com website. Remember, defaults are there for a very good reason, and if you don't know what something is, then you should leave it alone. In addition to some website security, there is also some additional server protection that is provided. Some components may work in a non-standard way, and you will have to provide exceptions to allow direct access to their files. Here we can see 3 examples for Akiba Backup, Admin Tools and the Joomla Update component. It may be that you will have to add additional exceptions for some of your components that are on your website. In addition, we have the opportunity to create some custom htaccess rules. If you don't know what these are, don't worry about it, it doesn't apply to you. But if you've had to create some already, then this is where you will add them. If you had previously added some code to change your PHP version, you should copy that code here. Otherwise your host may default to a very old version of PHP. The final section, Optimization and Utility, adds some additional tweaks to your website, and you shouldn't need to change any of these. When you are happy with the settings, click on the big green Save and Create htaccess. Your new htaccess file has been written to the disk, and a backup has been taken of the old one. At this point, you must check to make sure that every part of your website is working as it did before. It should, but as mentioned before, it may be necessary to add some exceptions for some of your components. If for some reason your website is now completely blank or you have a 500 error, you should use your FTP program or your web host file manager to locate the htaccess file in the root of your web space. Rename this file, perhaps to htaccess new, to prevent it from working, and your website will reload. You should then return to Admin Tools and the htaccess maker and review the settings until your website is working perfectly.